What? Your serum? Can't help you now, stud. Nice shot.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Happy New Year, motherfuckers!
That's right. Yeah.
We are back.
Guess who's back? Back again.
You please stop.
CV's back. Tell a friend.
And obviously, once again, we, and by we, I mean me, the hostess with the mostest, Shaggy Black, alongside me virtually. Is Mr. Jose Frost. Mr. Jose, how are you?
I am great. We have come into a new year and immediately got slapped by nature.
Yeah, that shit between like snow, possible COVID happenings, and then like other shit, just life in general. This is the first episode that we recorded away from each other, not in front of each other. Like we're normally in studio, I would say. Let's just call it that. Now we're just doing it virtual. We're bringing in the new year right, I guess, by doing this like
staying at home and doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, dude, we're actually doing what we're supposed to do. We're not,
right,
staying home and doing this, but yet we found a way to kind of do this and still try to bring you people's like the episodes. Obviously, like when I say life, and yeah, we mentioned a couple COVID things. Obviously, there was a couple of scares here between Jose and possibly myself, but we just take being precautious. But on top of that, I didn't have my fucking computer for about I didn't have the main podcast computer for about a week.
Yeah, it was like, okay, we're ready, guy.
So that's why we postponed it to like the second week of January instead of the first week like we promised. But it's okay. We're here. We're alive.
We are. And it's great. Life is doing good. Besides all the shenanigans, I'm doing pretty good. Life is doing pretty good. I think we are headed in great directions, bro.
Yes, man. You want me to just fucking say it? I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I kind of done ruin it. Yeah. 230 plus the fucking at the time of this recording, it is our Christmas episode, the Cinema Villains Christmas Spectacular, which covers Die Hard, is 230 plus downloads.
That's insane.
That is incredible. And we want to thank each and every last one of you for even participating in that. I don't know where you fuckers came from, but thank you.
And even if it is a glitch, thank you, glitch. Because we're like,
Jose thinks it's a glitch.
I don't think it's a, that's why.
Yeah, he's pessimistic as hell. But even this, me being a realist, that glitch would have fixed itself by now.
Yeah.
And not continually going up.
Yeah, no, that's weird. Yeah, but thanks to everyone who did listen. We appreciate it.
We definitely do, man. It does, because that means y'all really fuck with us. Now we got to be back on our shit. So
now we got to be super professional.
Professional? No, man. It was all drunk. That episode was drunk as hell. That was no way. It was professional.
Drunk. Now I got to run and get some beer. I'll be back.
Dude, I've been drinking a fucking hot toddy, man. So it's kind of like I'm already like halfway there. But
I got a bottle of Jack in here.
You have a fucking... So Jose is recording this from his room. And if y'all ever wondered what his room looked like, It is exactly what you think a middle-aged Mexican nerd man has in his room.
That's really specific, and I don't think they do know what that is. And
I don't even know what that is. It's really so. This for those who actually know Jose or have actually seen Jose on his IG or anything else, my man really loves Godzilla. He has pretty much Godzilla and Freddy apparently. So Godzilla, Freddy, and that's a. And
I don't know if you can tell. You can't.
He's got 2 fucking Godzilla posters. He's got a Nightmare on Elm Street and a Friday the 13th poster. Pretty much putting me to fucking shame.
Those are my top dollar Mondo posters I was able to score. Get. Sorry, I'm yelling at my cat. I just realized I'm yelling on the show.
He also has Harry, his beloved hairless cat.
Named Harry. Irony does not miss us.
Nope. And
throw a paper ball at him right now. Just don't worry.
He's trying to distract his cat so we can actually do the recording things. But that thing, those things tend to happen. But it's okay.
Yep. That's okay.
But man, I mean, 2020 was a crazy fucking year, and now we're in 2021, and we come back with overwhelming love and all that jazz. So we definitely improve. Once again, we said it before, we'll say it again. Thank you guys for tuning in. I wish y'all would go back and listen to the older episodes, give those love too. Give those episodes some love too.
Yeah, shout out to the Howling.
Yeah, shouts out to the Howling, because that motherfucker will never fucking move past 46. I am destined for that shit to never be.
Everyone saw that episode, we're like, nah, we're good.
Dodge that shit like the Matrix. But it's funny that we mentioned The Howling, and The Howling is a movie about werewolves, and this movie that we cover is all about vampires. What better way to bring in 2021 with us covering Blade? The one Marvel movie people forget. This is the Marvel movie that started it all. I don't give a fuck.
Saved the genre.
This right here, this one movie, fucking
people launched it.
Yeah, saved and launched it. Not a lot of people fucking credit Blade for anything, but they think when they think of Blade, they kind of think of Blade 2, and then the ridiculousness of Blade 3, and then and then they kind of don't think about it. They think of black, and when they obviously think of black superheroes, you think of fucking Black Panther, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Blade was here first, man.
Yeah.
Blade was a Marvel movie, but it wasn't a Marvel Studios movie, but it was a Marvel movie based on New Line Cinema in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
Peak times, man. And
it was one of their first movies, right? Because that's after they sold everything.
Yeah, they sold everything. And then when they saw that Blade saved their asses.
Yeah, it really did. Saved their asses and inadvertently saved the genre.
Yeah. And it's fucking incredible, man. Blade did a lot for apparently a lot of people consider it a great action movie. I kind of consider it a horror movie a little bit.
A little bit. It does have some.
Just a teensy weensy bit, like an action horror.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you would think Evil Dead is. Evil Dead 2.
Right. No.
Well, no, not Evil Dead 2. I would say Army of Darkness, but
Army of Darkness is better, I think.
Yeah, Army of Darkness, but I fucking think Blade had its ups and downs, but obviously one reason why I wanted to review Blade is because obviously it just got a re-release on 4K.
Hell yeah, and that 4K transfer is nice.
Yeah, that 4K transfer did this movie some justice, and I highly recommend people to go out and go buy it. It's about $24.99, $29.99.
Yeah, it depends on where you can get it. You can get it cheaper certain places. Yeah.
Copy for yourself. This is one movie if you haven't seen before or haven't known of the Marvel superhero character. Actually, this is another first for us. This is our first Marvel movie that we covered on the show.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Holy shit.
Yes.
I didn't think of that. That's true, yeah.
This is our first Marvel movie that we covered, which is insane to me. But we know we covered this, and I highly recommend. This is one of my favorite movies that I grew up loving to see. And Jose, do you remember the first time you went and saw Blade?
Oh yeah, I saw this in theaters. It was, I guess, when it came out, I saw it in theaters. It was pretty cool. And I just remember it being an amazing movie. I remember that, like, wow, this movie is the shit. Like, holy hell. It was fucking great. Everyone loved it. Even my mom and dad were like, that was a really good movie. Holy hell.
So I remember seeing this in theaters too. And it kind of freaked me the fuck out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, just because, like, just a little bit of, not all of it, bro, but like, just a little bit of it, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of freaked me out. And it was just the vampire shit at the time, but at the same time, once Blade started coming in kicking people's asses, it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
I think now I know the part that fucking freaked me out was when Quinn was burnt and he came back to life.
Oh, he came back to life. Yeah, that was pretty wild. That was good makeup. He was like, ah.
Yeah, that was great. We're gonna cover that a little bit more. But yeah, I remember watching this movie in the theaters. And when I lived in Atlanta with my mom and my sister, we went there and we saw that movie. And it was one of those movies I was like, oh shit, okay, this is awesome. You know, but it kind of, like I said, it freaked me out a little bit. But going back and watching it, this movie still holds up, even with the questionable CGI in certain parts.
Absolutely.
Even the questionable CGI in certain parts,
CGI,
like
it's here and there. It's not a main focus of the movie. Like,
no.
Yeah,
I give it some passes. Not bad at all. I give it some passes.
Yeah.
On certain parts. I definitely give it some passes on some certain parts. Mm-hmm. But like, that's not what carries that movie. When I think of this movie, I highly think of, obviously, Wesley Snipes being Wesley Snipes again.
Pretty much, yeah.
And probably one of my favorite edgelord villains of all time, Deacon Frost.
Hell yeah, Deacon Frost.
Which is one of the reasons why we're reviewing this movie, is because Deacon Frost is a bad bitch.
Hey, shout out to Twitter.
Yes, sir. Seriously. Like, when I saw Deacon, man, it was just kind of, after looking at this again, I was like, man, why did I like Deacon Frost again? And it was just pretty much, he was a fucking edgelord. He was literally, this was a guy played by Stephen Dorff, who, honestly, I had not seen in another movie since Alone in the Dark.
Oh, wow. Was he in Alone in the Dark?
Yeah, he was in Alone in the Dark. Yeah, unfortunately, I do.
Oh, wow.
And I don't want to talk about that. I actually want to talk about his actually good movies. He just looked so fucking cool to me, man. And just like the demeanor about it,
mm-hmm.
like
exactly.
He was an anime character before like anime was like a real big thing in my life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. He did. He had a certain swag about him. I remember like, wow, this villain is really good. That's the only thing I can remember thinking about. It was one of the first times you'd be like, yeah, this is a dope villain. Like, goddamn.
Listen, he was really and going back and watching it, he was really still fucking good. Like he said, he's more edgy than I fucking imagined him to, but he was really fucking good in this role. Like he even up until like the last act of the movie, he was really fucking good doing what he does in this movie. He was like just, you know, but that's like, it's one of the things that I carry with me with this. And but it also proves that, man, young Shag was edgy as fuck going up to now. And now he's kind of like looking at what he likes and then kind of what he doesn't like, and then look at the villains. You had fucking Blade on screen, but you had Wesley Snipes being a fucking black fucking vampire hero on screen. And yet you're fucking rooting for Deacon Frost. What the fuck is wrong with you? You edgy bitch.
You edgy bitch.
I mean, yeah, I fucking like it. It was really dope for me, man. Like it was a dope time for me. Like I really liked how he portrayed the character in this. Now, granted, this was probably a younger Stephen Dorff. He played this character like just smooth and suave.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, but he was also, this movie reminded you that it was still in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, it was a perfect blend of like 90s ridiculousness, but right in there with like, we're not going overboard.
Right. No, exactly. He balanced it out. Yeah. He didn't go over the top.
No, he could have.
Yeah.
He could have.
Yeah.
He could have, but like he's got anything like that. And it was all good. It was dope to fucking see, and I really enjoyed every minute of it. Once again, I highly recommend this movie. Jose, you got any thoughts about this too?
Oh yeah, this is easily one of the best movies ever. Easily, Blade 1 and Blade 2 to a certain extent. I know a lot of people it flip flops of which Blade they like more.
I will always say Blade 1.
Yeah, I do too.
I know Blade. I'm one of the ones that knows that Blade 2 is the superior movie, but Blade 1.
I think Steven Dorff is the reason. Blade 1 has a better villain.
Yeah, Steven Dorff. Yeah, definitely has. Blade 1 has the better villain. Blade 2 has like the better everything else.
Yeah.
So.
And Blade 3.
and then Blade 3 has Triple H with the Pomeranian.
Yes, that's right. Oh, I forgot about Triple H. I always forget Triple H is in that movie. Son of a bitch.
I never forget that Triple H is in that movie. Because that's the first time I heard him curse.
Triple H is like, I'm about to be The Rock now. I'm going to steal his thunder.
Like, that shit. Sure, buddy. Let's do that. You should go home and be a family man.
Yeah, go back. Go back, guy. No.
Yeah, none of that. Mm-hmm. All right. So before we jump into our normal segue for the movies, is there anything else that we need to cover on this? Any thoughts, processes, anything for the people?
The people. No?
The people.
We're good to go.
So guys, if you haven't fucking seen,
we do the huh?
Go ahead. No.
As always, the cinema villains, we do the what ifs. Let me just get them out of the way right now.
Okay.
The what ifs. So we'll start with Blade. They always had Wesley Snipes in mind. David Gore, he
produced the movie to the point.
So he always had Wesley Snipes in mind, but just in case, the other people considered Lawrence Fishburne, Denzel Washington, and here's the one where I want to travel to the multiverse where this happened, just to see this, and the other one was LL Cool J.
None of them were appealing to me, man.
Yeah.
None of them were appealing to me.
None of them.
Like if LL played like fucking, I don't know, Steel or fucking Luke Cage, I'd believe it. But like, no, man.
Not Blade. Would he have had the hair? Would he have had the...
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't look at LL with hair, bro. That's some weird shit.
Like and sticky fingers, but no, he comes later.
Yeah, he comes later.
And of course, when we get to good old Deacon Frost, so let's go. So first of all, this Steven Dorff almost did not do this movie.
Oh no,
Steven Dorff is an actor, son. He was like, I want to do these commercial movies, especially a superhero movie. Oh no, I don't want to do this. They had to literally like convince him to say yes.
I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
I'm glad he did.
The people considered for the role were Bruce Payne, who is the bad guy in Passenger 57. That guy, that old British guy. Him, Mark Wahlberg, and someone was offered the role, and that person was Jet Li.
Why is Jet Li always randomly popping up in these fucking movies?
Yes.
Like,
he was offered the role, but he turned it down for Lethal Weapon 4.
I like Lethal Weapon 4.
Yeah.
I kind of like Lethal Weapon 4. I'm okay with that.
Oh, and randomly, there was an actor who was like lobbying hard. He was like, please cast me. Please cast me. I want to do that. And that actor was Skeet Ulrich.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now that I can kind of see.
I mean, come on. Skeet Ulrich, bro.
Yeah. He was just hot off of Scream. He was ready.
I mean, to be honest, if you look at Brad Dourif and Skeet Ulrich, they both had the same type of thing, man. And then he would have fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
He would have fucking nailed it as and Skeet Ulrich, like Jose said, was the main bad guy, was one of the main bad guys in Scream, the original Scream. It was Billy. But if you go back and you look,
never seen Scream.
We'll be covering that soon enough on here.
Yeah.
On Cinema Villains. But it's funny that you say that, Jose, because if you go back and look at Scream, and you go back and look at this, and you go back and look at Blade, both them motherfuckers look the same.
Yeah.
The same kind of demeanor and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, we need you to be Billy, but vampire. Not obsessed about movies, but be obsessed with being vampires.
Yeah, obsessed with being the best.
Obsessed with being the best vampire.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
As Jose fights off Harry,
he just jumped on like no, buddy.
Like
Anyway.
like yeet.
But yeah. So
you guys said I was it for the what ifs.
Yeah, that was the what if castings.
Perfect. Thank you, my friend, as always.
Mm-hmm.
Now, guys, thank you again for we're about to tune in. If you haven't seen Blade, you can actually stream it now on HBO Max.
There you go.
It jumped from Hulu straight to HBO Max. If you haven't seen it before, it's right there to go see. Not a problem. For those in the States, it's an HBO Max. For in Canada, sorry, Alex. I want to say it's probably on Canadian Netflix. Not sure.
Yeah, we have no idea.
But we'll try to do a better job in finding out the other alternatives for our
we don't think of that for our international friends.
Yeah, we're looking for our international friends. But for the statewide, it's in HBO Max. You can watch that now. If you want to avoid spoilers for this damn near 30-year-old movie, you can go ahead and you can go, yeah, no, it's almost almost there.
I just hit the what you call it, the Saving Private Ryan. I just turned old.
Yeah, just like turned old, man. It's like damn. But actually, wait, this movie came out 1998. This movie is 23 years old. I'm tripping. This 23-year-old movie. This is your spoiler warning, because we're about to jump into it, because you know what we're about to jump into. But before we jump into it, we got to cover the goddamn tale of the tape. Brought to you in part by,
let's do it.
Brought to you in part by Cinema Villains Wiki, which at this point we're gonna get a fucking sponsor for Tale of the Tape.
Yeah, we should.
But when that happens, we're putting it in the universe. We're gonna have a sponsor for Tale of the Tape. We're gonna keep it rolling. Come on, Shudder.
Please.
But villain's full name, Deacon Frost. Aliases was Deke, Frost, and La Magra. Of course, he's from 1998 movie Blade. Occupation, member of the Shadow Council, leader of Deacon Frost's vampire gang. His powers and skills include immortality, superhuman strength, superhuman speed, superhuman agility, intelligence, leadership, swordsmanship. His hobbies? Drinking blood, partying, and having sex. That's pretty much that. Goals?
Hey, there you go.
His goals: become the vessel of the blood god and rule the world. Also kill Blade once he is no longer needed. Both of those he failed.
Yes, he did.
Now, for my favorite part of this, we always got yours and mine's, his crime record.
There we go.
Rape, serial murders, conspiracy, kidnapping, assault, usurpation, torture, treason, human sacrifice, attempted child murder, sexual harassment, attempted omnicide, attempted world domination.
Oof.
Yes.
All the oofs.
Also, he is the type of villain he is, vampire god wannabe. So, as we're going into Blade, hit us, Jose, with that oh so great synopsis.
Yeah, synopsis for Blade in 1998. A half-vampire, half-mortal man becomes a protector of the mortal race while slaying evil vampires. There you go. Straight to the point. Let's go.
All right. For the cast, we have obviously Wesley Snipes as Blade, Chris Christopherson as Abraham Whistler, and I believe Mr. Christopherson passed away a few years ago. Did I just kill him? Yes, I did.
Wait, did you?
Yeah, I did. My bad. He is still alive.
I was like, wait, is he? When did he die?
He is still alive. Stephen Dorff as Deacon Frost, Donna Logue as Quinn, Sanaa Lathan as Vanessa, Nabushi Wright as Dr. Karen Jensen, and obviously those are it. We're only going to cover the main 6 of these movies here. So, starting off, you get our title. Like before we get our title card, pretty much we get the one scene. We get two people in a car traveling to what I can only assume is a nightclub. But this nightclub is not any normal like nightclub. It is in a meat factory.
Yeah, it's just some random like meat factory, and even the dude's like, "Man, what the hell are you taking me?"
Yeah, and it's just like, they get in and and they open it up, and we are pretty much greeted to probably one of the best and probably one of my most memorable cinematic openings to a movie.
Oh, absolutely. The opening to Blade, it's one of the best openings.
One of the best
movie history.
Yes, thank you. It's one of the best openings to an action movie. Period, hands down. I can't think of any other fucking action movie that opens better than this.
Yes, because it set up everything. Because they're having essentially a rave.
You're going to a rave,
yeah,
and it's a dude and his date. They're in there. She like for her to help get the guy in there. She gives him a kiss. They tongue it down. They walk all in and. They get it. They make their way in, and obviously the music is going up, and that music still plays in my head to this day. And dudes bumping around. You see people getting fellatio on things. You see like the club. You see the club being a club.
Yeah.
Up until our poor bystander, which is this dude's like a no name. I'm just gonna say that. He notices something dripping from the roof. He's like, "The fuck is this?" That's when he tastes his blood. So he looks up. As he looks up, and it was perfect camera shot, everybody's arms start to raise up in the air.
Yep.
And goes to show, you peer back to the DJ, it fucking says, behind the DJ, it says Bloodbath, written in what I can only assume is blood, on a, I'm not going to say tarp, on a piece of cloth, hanging down, and blood starts raining from the fucking ceiling via
the sprinklers,
the sprinkler system for fires and shit, just pours down. And it's the poor guy is freaked the fuck out because now he's noticing that this club is weird as fuck. But what he's not noticing is he looks back up, he sees his date, and she's like, "What's wrong, baby?" And she sees fucking vampires every fucking way. So he's like, "I'm gonna fucking die."
Mauling their teeth. Yeah, they start showing their teeth.
Showing her teeth and shit. And as this dude's about to be lunch, the Red Sea apparently fucking splits. And this is where we get our first appearance of Wesley Snipes as Blade. And what happens in this shit is probably, once again, one of the best, you said best action openings. This is also probably one of the better fucking superhero moments.
Yeah.
Top 5. Yep. Just moments and appearances. With their superhero interests. That's the word I'm looking for. Superhero interests. He just walks in, just looking like he's straight out of the fucking Matrix.
Yeah.
And
this movie was before the Matrix.
Yeah, this movie didn't happen yet. The Matrix didn't happen yet, but he definitely jumped down. He's just with a fucking duster, dressed in all black, fucking shades, and this man proceeds to do fucking work.
Yeah, everyone kind of stops for a second. They're like, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit!" Do we do it?
They're like, "Who the fuck is that? Who's there?" Oh, a fucking Blade. As soon as he kills the motherfucker, everything goes to shit.
Yeah, because he immediately just shoots someone in the chest.
Wow! Damn, this motherfucker explodes. And to what I always thought was the coolest vampire deaths.
Yeah, because they just disintegrate. They just
disintegrate. From that point on, I always thought vampires would just die like that.
Yeah.
Burst into a fucking flame and then disintegrate. But obviously that is not the case. I thought that shit was happening, but then you have you get our whole fight scene, but it's pretty much gunfights and people trying to run up to Blade and getting fucked up.
He is just kung fu shooting and beating up the hell out of everybody.
Pretty much
anything that moves, he's just going off.
As we cover this movie, notice that we're gonna probably skip over some stuff because about 40% of this movie, maybe actually I take that back. About 60-70% of this movie is just Wesley Snipes beating the shit out of somebody.
Yeah.
and it's
Pretty
kind
much.
of hard for us to kind of keep up with. But we see, but like I said before I go, this is one of those things that we're gonna try and get better with, because if it has a story plot line, we're gonna try and keep up with it. If it don't, we're just gonna say it's just Wesley. It's like it's Blade o'clock, motherfucker. That's all that is. It's like he's just beating the shit out of everybody. So as he's beating the shit out of everybody, we get our first introduction to Donald Logue's character, Quinn.
Yeah.
Who, if you noticed earlier, was getting some vampiric fellatio earlier.
Also, you could totally see Frost for like a second.
Yeah, I thought I fucking like.
Yeah, because the dude's like getting pushed around. He's like, "What the fuck?" And he runs into Frost, and Frost just kind of dogs him.
Like, just kind of like just bitch and just kind of walks away.
Yeah, because he's like, I guess he knows. I'm like, oh, that dude's fucked. I guess someone brought a snack or something.
Yeah, he's like, okay, like, hey,
Just walks away.
like
Yeah.
fresh meat, and just walked away. Quinn comes up and says, let's fuck Blade up. And obviously, Blade fucks them up. Like, it's not even, it's a no contest. Quinn tries to fight him straight up. Quinn gets pinned into the fucking wall. Blade gets tired of this shit, pretty much sets him on fire. Like, off rip. You already know what time this, you already know what this
He
fucking
slices
is
up everyone. He pulls out the sword, slices up everyone, and then just, like you said, staples them essentially to a wall.
Yeah, he fucking just pins that motherfucker like a fucking poster in college to the fucking wall. Bang, bang. And has him sit there. And it's fucking, what are you going to do? He tries to interrogate him. Quinn fucking doesn't say anything. He's just saying stuff in his native vampiric tongue. Yeah, and Blade's like, all right. Whatever. Sets him on fire and just leaves.
Yeah.
The poor guy. Exactly. The poor guy. Speaking of which, this movie has so many fucking quotables. We already know what my favorite quotable is. Oh, yeah. But it is but he pretty much sets him on fire. He sees the poor guy who came in with the date not being turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
Not being turned into a vampire. And Jose is being attacked by his not furry friend.
Not furry friend. That's dope.
But like but anyway, so like that's how we get our introduction to Blade. So Quinn gets put out and he's taken to the hospital because they think he's a normal human taken to the fucking hospital. I don't fucking come on, man. Dude's on fire. You take him to the hospital. That's when we get our fucking introduction to Dr. Karen. Yeah. Karen and her fucking ex Curtis.
Something like that.
Yeah, like her ex, and they're just saying, that's why I never shit where I eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just like they just get into a little fucking. They kind of get into like a little spat saying, it's like, hey, no, do you still think we had a chance or something like that? And Quinn, Mr. Crispy, is sitting there, hops up off the fucking table, and takes a fucking crunch out of Curtis. And I'm not talking about like no sexy vampire bite. I'm talking about this motherfucker. He bit into that motherfucker like a fucking gordita crunch. Like a cheesy gordita crunch. And
cheesy gordita crunch.
And fucked him up. Like it was bad. And Dr. Karen spooked. She runs out of the room. Fucking Quinn, like burnt ass, fucking chased after her and proceeds to bite her.
Chomp her too, yeah.
This wasn't like one of those. He wasn't biting into that fucking like a Taco Bell dollar menu item. He actually just like bit her, like just normally bit her, and then next thing you know, like she's on the ground, she's woozy as fuck, but she sees somebody dressed in black. It's Blade walking up. He sees Quinn. He punches Quinn in the fucking face, and that whole scene is probably still like the funniest fucking thing to me. Like I swear to God, like he's like, and just Quinn. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I didn't know Quinn was the bad guy in this movie, if he was just a normal vampire, I'd feel bad for him because he's like, leave me alone, leave me alone, you freak. Yeah,
as he's charred to a crisp.
Like Mans is fucking looking like a Texas burnt in.
Yeah.
And
he's looking like Chucky at the end of Child's Play 1. Just
fucking crispy. and Blade's beating this motherfucker's ass as he's fucking. Now he gets away because fucking hospital security with guns. By the way, I don't even know how this even fucking happened.
Right.
Runs up and starts and tells Blade to freeze.
And they shoot him and freeze.
Yeah, they freeze and they bomb, freeze, and they shoot him. And they don't see, like, how do you shoot the black man, but not the fucking burnt one. And even to this day, I tell myself, because how Wesley Snipes reacted is like, motherfucker, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
To this day, I'm telling myself that was not in the script. Even if it was,
I don't know. There's no trivia on it, so who knows? So
yeah, like even if it was, I'm still gonna tell myself that was made up because Wesley like he broke fucking character. Because the way they fucking came on screen, they shot at him. He was like, "What fucking out of mind?" They fucking left.
Right, you goddamn mind. Just like
they ran like fucking like cartoon characters, like right out of the fucking building. But then obviously the police start showing up. Blade saves Karen Johnson by Jensen and saves Karen by throwing her ass across out of the window to across the building, and Blade jumps out after her as they make their getaway.
Mm-hmm.
Karen wakes up in Blade's hideout, where we also meet Chris Christopherson, the not deceased Chris Christopherson.
Yeah. I was like, what?
He is Whistler in this movie, and that's the one we get our first introduction as the Whistler. Whistler sees Karen, and he's looking at Blade, and he's like, "Hey, man, why didn't you not kill her?"
Blade's like, I don't know.
He's like, I did. I know I should have, but I didn't. Whatever. And he's like, all right, whatever. And he fucking plugs her fucking full of garlic, and she's out. It's pretty much in this scene, like that was a lot of shit, like to go on, like a lot of stuff to swallow, and you kind of get where you're coming from in this movie. Like you're gonna get your fucking like jump scares here and there, but it kind of dips off after a while. But this one, when going into this, I knew this was gonna be a different vampire movie. All in all, this is probably still one of my quintessential vampire movies I will watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like off rip.
Absolutely, it's just a fucking great movie. Like I said, that was a great opening, and we get a great setup, and it's good.
Yeah, it jumps
cool
off.
World.
It jumps off like that. Did you say Cool World?
I said it's a pretty cool world. I guess I don't know.
Like the movie Cool World.
No, was that with Brad Pitt?
Yes.
Okay, I do not remember that movie at all.
I remember that movie because I am a little bit of a pervert. But anyway.
Yes. We know, Shay. We know.
Shut up. Anyway, we cut to the scenes. No, we're probably gonna cover Cool World eventually because that movie was just weird.
Does it have a villain? Does it have a villain?
Dude, I don't even fucking know anymore. I think it does. I
don't know either. Huh?
I think it does.
Okay.
I think the woman's the villain in that one.
Ah.
Holy shit! Off topic. We have not covered a fucking female villain yet.
No, I'm trying to think.
We have not.
It needs to change.
We have not. It's been a sausage fest.
Ooh, now you got me thinking. Now I gotta look. Now I gotta Google.
We got it. But anyway, back to Blade. We are in the now we're in the scene with the Vampire Council, where they're going over pretty much them getting wrecked by Blade, and Deacon Frost obviously is on the Vampire Council, but he is pretty much nonchalant, and they're kind of looking at him like, Deacon, this is your fault. And this is kind of where we get, like, Deacon legitimately does not give a fuck. Like, he doesn't care.
Yeah, because they're like, these clubs of yours are a menace. You know, they draw too much attention. He's like, whatever,
you guys, I don't fucking care. And then they fucking take a shot at him, saying, if you were a pureblood, this shit wouldn't happen. And Deacon's, like, rolling his fucking eyes at the fact, like, pureblood. As we find out, Deacon wasn't born a vampire. Yeah, he was turned into a vampire. And I want to say, depending on, and it's funny that we definitely forgot about the opening about you see Blade's mom giving birth to Blade as she was bit.
Yeah.
That's how we get our title card.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Dead Meat.
Yeah.
We like it's just, but like you get that sense of like Deacon is like, I'm just here because I don't want to be fined.
Exactly. Yes.
He has that whole attitude of like that with like the whole council, and he looks at Dimitri.
And he's talking shit to him. Like, dude, like these people are our food. Who gives a shit? Like, why?
Yeah.
Why are we in the shadows?
Like, why are we in the shadows? We should be ruling over them. They're cattle. They're our fucking food. Like he's hitting several points.
Yeah.
But even fucking like, but Dimitri, who is the head of the Vampire Council, is sitting there and going like, we can't act upon these, man. We're not savages.
Right.
Ding is like, all right.
Udo Kier, we forgot to say that. Played by Udo Kier.
He is played. I have the cast right here.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Udo.
I just always know he's that one actor.
Udo Kier. Udo Kier.
Yeah.
Udo Kier.
He was also in the Corn Make Me Bad video. Hey.
Oh God. But yeah, like you get that whole sense of merriment with Deacon Frost with that, because when you see him on the screen, you kind of get like he's over it. He's just over all of that. Like he's the type of motherfucker that's over his 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
He's like he gives old boy Dragunov, like he looks at him like, when I quit this bitch, you gonna know.
Yeah.
You gonna be the first to know.
Yeah.
My last day of this motherfucker, oh, you gonna know. I said Dragunov. It's Dragon Eddie. I fucked up. It's Dragon Eddie. I'm playing too much Tekken. We get our next scene. Blade goes to what can only one assume is pretty much like Harlem, New York, because but like he goes
this movie never says where it is.
It's in New York, but it doesn't tell you what borough.
No, because it's New Orleans, apparently.
So it says it's in New Orleans. This is in New York.
It's okay.
Because you can this even in that it's in New York, because if you look at it, even the fucking cop cars are fucking New York.
Oh, okay. I know, because they showed earlier Blade was looking at a map, and that map was a map of New Orleans.
Yeah.
So that's why everyone's like, wait, so are we in New Orleans? Where are we at, Blade?
That bitch is in New York, because New Orleans don't look nothing like that. Also, for Marvel continuity, it definitely had to be New York.
Just because everything's in New York?
Yeah, think about it.
Nice.
Are you really fucking like doing some stat checking on this?
No, that was a trivia thing. That's the only reason. No, I'm good. Yeah.
It was a trivia?
Yeah, it was a piece of trivia. Well, it was something like that. Like it was a map of New York, leading most people to believe that this movie takes place in New Orleans.
Yeah, like you would think it'd be in New Orleans, but it's definitely New York. With how everything else is. But yeah, Blade is out getting his serum to keep him regular. So for those who don't know about Blade, Blade is what they call a daywalker. He is a person who has none of the vampire's weaknesses, but all of their strengths. But he also has their thirst.
Yes.
So to keep that thirst at bay, he gets a serum made. To kind of keep him in check, so he's not drinking human blood.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets that, and Whistler administrates it every time, so they can he administrates it so they can kind of keep him regular. That's kind of how that goes. Karen sees this. She gets freaked out. She kind of runs. They kind of catch up with him, and then Wesley, being Wesley, kind of sneaks up on her silently. You don't even hear no drop.
The drop,
He just fucking lands behind her.
He just ninjas. He's like, hello.
Yeah, they introduce each other. Themselves. She's like, okay, who are you? She's like, I'm Whistler. That right there is that chocolate Donna. She behind you is Blade. So like they have Whistler and Blade kind of have that father or that uncle nephew relationship, like almost like father son.
Yeah.
Because like he's definitely the father figure in Blade's life.
Mhm.
Which something that I liked in the comics, and I'm kind of glad they kept in the movie. For us to kind of be nerdy about this, man, they kind of did this. They kept it kind of close to the comics a little bit.
No, yeah, absolutely.
It's about as close as you can get.
Right, exactly.
But they definitely did. With that, now I always respected that about this movie. Deacon should have been a little older, but
Yeah,
fuck that. Deacon Frost is
comic Deacon's an old dude.
Yeah, Deacon's older, but like in this one, nah, that shit is say magnifique. So anyway, you have Deacon, so you have they just introduce each other, and Karen's like, Karen's sitting here going, am I a hostage here? And he's like, no, you can leave anytime you want. Just like they kind of remind her that you're a bit, you could be a vampire, that vampires are real. They're real as shit.
We're giving you 50-50. You're like either gonna make it or not.
Either you're gonna make it or you won't, and we'll put you down. Yeah. Like that's all it is. Mm-hmm. Like, and like that is, it is one of those things. It's kind of like, it's not character development, but it's kind of like, hey, it's funny because she's not a love interest.
Yeah.
She's a part of the like plot development. She's a doctor, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna figure this shit out. So like, I'm trying to think, do they let her go? Is it this part that they let her go back to her house?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then Whistler gives her the speech like, man, if you start getting thirsty and you can't,
like that, yeah,
you do nothing about it, no matter how much water you drink or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
that's when you take that. You
put it to your head.
Take that gun. Take this. Put it to, like, take this, like, and he gives her a thing of fucking garlic. He gives her a fucking thing like a garlic pepper spray.
Yeah.
And they let her go home. She goes home, but what she doesn't realize is she's being tailed by someone she doesn't know. But she gets in her house. She sees there's a fucking police officer.
Yeah.
Police officer. She's like, yo, who are you? And the police officer, obviously being, black woman, cop following you, that's kind of like, hey, yeah, no. Especially, it's like, I mean, now, but even then, Jesus. You get the police officer. Police officer is like, hey, we just come to, I just want to make sure you were fine. The door was open.
Mm-hmm.
Which is bullshit. And that was Officer Krieger. Yes. Officer Krieger says, hey, you okay? The door's open. We want to make sure you're fine. And she's like, I'm okay, but what are you here for? And he looks at her. She looks at him. He looks at her. And he goes like, making sure you're dead, bitch. And he fucking tries to kill her. But he takes the fucking garlic.
Yeah, because they gave her like a garlic fucking face. Spray. Yeah.
Yeah, sprays in his fucking face. Sprays in his face, and she's like, hey. He's like, hey.
He's like,
is that garlic? And he's like, yeah, I heard it keeps them away. I heard it's supposed to keep you guys away. So keep you away. Vampires. He's like, I'm not a vampire. But it's like, this motherfucker.
I'm a vampire.
He says he's a vampire. Blade pops up right behind this motherfucker, like a goddamn ninja, and like proceeds to beat the shit out of this dude.
Yes, and he's whooping this dude's ass. Like he is fucking him up, yeah.
Dude, and he fucking says another fuck. As he's proceeding to beat his ass, he's robbing him. Like just digging through his shit, robbing him. And Karen points it out, like, oh, so you robbing him? So you gonna rob me now? He's like, how do you think it's probably one of the funniest lines. He's like, so how do you think we keep this operation going? We aren't exactly the March of Dimes.
Right.
As he proceeds to rob this motherfucker.
He
watches fake. And he just tosses it down. And I'm just like, bro, this is funny as fuck. One thing I forgot to mention, there was some character buildup here with Deacon Frost back in his apartment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Dragon 80 comes into his place. Dragon 80 is trying to talk to Deacon. Deacon's got headphones in. And Dragon 80's like, hey, I'm talking to you. And he's like, huh? Takes out the headphones. He looks at him. He says, what's up? Dragon 80 smacks the fuck out of him. He's like, bro, you need to, like, pretty much telling him to calm down. But you see that Deacon's like playing it coy and playing respectful, but he's got some shit going on in the background that he's listening to, trying to decipher. and trying to figure out because he's doing some research which comes into play later. I only brought that scene back up to say this. It also shows his demeanor. Because I thought it was also some part of trivia too that he was also like he was pansexual. Like, or is it pansexual?
Well, when
wow, I should probably shut up. That is shut up, man.
That was a joke. Shout out to Angie. That was always her like go-to joke when people were like, "Oh, you're pansexual. What kind of pants do you like?"
God damn it.
Angie was always like,
Angie.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to her, man. But no, like he definitely would go around and like he made like a loving pass towards Dragon Eddie. Like he's like, yo, like he's almost like bisexual, but he's let's see, hold on. Yep, nope, he was pansexual.
Well, there you go.
All right. Yep. That's what I thought.
With the trivia.
Look, man, I just like they threw out hints of that because like if you see it, he's with multiple women in this entire movie.
Yeah.
But they also throw it to like he also likes older men too because he's like looking at Dragon Eddie. He's like, yo, the way they kind of have the little thing.
Mm-hmm.
He gets smacked and he just like
harder, daddy. No, but just
oh my god. Why do you make things so weird?
That's what he said. He had that in his mind.
Anyway, but no. Obviously, Blade kind of like explains to him like, look, she's like, you were using me for bait. He's like, yeah. And like she was because he needed to get some more information to see because they were going to come back out. They were going to come after her anyway. He let the cop go. After trying to get some information from him in the streets because they found out that he's letting part of like a bloodletting cycle. He's dropping off and delivering blood to different banks, and she recognizes one of the blood banks that he's picking up blood from.
Yeah.
He gets like in that scuffle, he gets away. Blade's like, yo, I swear, and she lets him get away. He's like, yo, you better act right because if it's not me, it's gonna be them killing you.
Yeah.
Like all three. He's trying to let her know like this shit's not a game.
Mm-hmm.
You could fucking die. So they but what they do now is they try to tail the police officer. Because and what's probably if I had to say anything bad about this movie, it was this one scene where it was all like chopped up like a fucking cocaine music video.
Yeah, it was like really edited weird. Yeah, this had that little car chase scene. Yeah, it was all like whoop, whoop, whoop. It was just cut. It was so weird. It's jarring by today's standards.
It was jarring. It was super jarring, man. Like it was super jarring. Like I didn't know. It was probably one. It was one of those things to where I'm just like, bro, I don't know how to feel about this shit. Like it was one of those things this is one of those things like you could have cut the movie out of. Like it was weird. Like it was sped up. But I say the only fucking shot that I do like about this is it was showing the seedy underbelly of the city.
Yeah.
Where you saw a dude being a vampire, drinking blood out of a girl in the street.
Yeah.
So anyway, they get to where the cop is running off to. It's a club. It's like it's another nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
Blake points out it's a vampire nightclub. Tells them what's going on.
He shows them there's like a little glyph, a hieroglyphic outside. That's like, oh, this is like technically a safe house too. Like, if you need a place to stay, if you're a vampire, you can like run up on here.
Yep. And then you also have like the instance where you get a little bit of the world building in this type of points because there's like, yo, that's a safe house. Everybody on here is a vampire, from the doorman to the whore in the corner. It's the way they move, it's the way they smell,
the
way they operate. You see how they do things. That's how you know. And she's like, well, hey, and he's like, and he tells them that's another one of my favorite lines. It's like, hey, There's a lot of things out here scarier than vampires. Like, yeah, like what? Like me.
Yep. He puts a sword.
Fucking sword right to Sheik, right there in the back. And they fucking walk up. She's like, you know how to use this? He's like, you know how to use this? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm sure I'm a fast learner. Karen takes the gun from him because he handed her a gun. Takes the gun from him. He's like, look. He explains that the bullets are garlic laced, silver tipped.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you aim for the head or the heart. Anything else, that's your ass.
Yep.
Which was still to this day probably funny. Probably because when I heard it originally, I was a child.
Yeah.
Like I was a child. Now I'm still kind of tickled when I hear it now because I'm like, part of me is like, how much did Wesley actually have a script for this?
Yeah. Right. Wesley does
but
what
they
Wesley wants.
But they get into the fucking. They walk up to the building to get into the club. The bouncer says, "Hey, how you gonna get in?" It's like, "Hey, can I help you?" Yeah. Like, just try to get in. It's like, how can you get in? Motherfucker smiles, takes off his sunglasses, and throws that motherfucker in the wall.
Yeah.
And then we get another scene to where you're entering the bar, which is probably a Japanese bar because you see nothing but Asian vampiric businessmen.
Yeah.
Fucking talking and talking and fucking like not just talking, but like listening to underage girls rapping a fucking song.
Yeah, in Japanese.
In fucking Japanese.
Yeah, that was always like, what the fuck? That always tripped me out when I was younger. I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I was like, yo, what? Like, man, that shit always threw me off, but like it was that whole scene and that whole scene just happens and it was like you just saw the seedy underbelly of the vampiric shit, and then you also saw like pretty much coming through. You pretty much see him just going through and everything, kind of going out as they're chasing down the cop. Yeah.
They're chasing down the cop. They get to the point where they get the cop. Hi, Harry. They get in the cop. They're getting the cop, and they are like he's trying to get more information from him, and they see like a door. They see a door on here. That's pretty much giving them some information about, man, it's very crazy because I just watched this movie and I'm trying to remember what all happened in this because when you watch
they have a door.
Yeah, he's fighting through the restaurant. He beats
out of him in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And he's like, where's the underground place? Where is it? He's like right there, and he points to a fridge and he starts to beat the shit out of him again. He's like, no, really, it's the fucking fridge. When he opens the fridge door, he finds like the hidden passage.
Yeah, like it's just a hidden passage and shit. So,
they go down and they meet Pearl.
Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
Pearl.
Pearl, who can only be described as a giant, overweight vampire. I don't mean overweight. I mean like
if Jabba the Hutt could speak English. Vampire. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is the part where they interrogated him in this scene. I remember that now.
Because it's all like a little UV lamp.
Yeah, all this shit kind of just take care of it. Like they just try, like they fucking try to take it. Like he's sitting there, and I remember the first fucking time seeing this motherfucker, he just farts.
Yeah.
Just farts, man. And I'm just like, bruh, what?
So a piece of trivia, this dude got so fat because apparently he would eat a bunch of children because children were the only thing he could catch because his big ass wasn't fast enough. So there was supposed to be like a bunch of little kids' skulls and bones, but that got taken out because like that's too dark.
I mean, yeah, but it's also rated R.
Right, but even then they have standards, Shang. They have standards.
Fuck them kids. But no, like I get that because I kind of wish. I mean, because when you see Pearl's not. Pearl's not threatening.
No,
You know?
not at all.
Like Pearl's not threatening and everything, man. Pearl is like that would have helped Pearl kind of feel threatening. But like
Yeah.
but you don't but it's different from that point to where like as they're going down to go talk to Pearl, we're getting to another scene where Deacon is finally gets the information translated that he needs, which is the conjurer Lamagra, which is the blood god.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing, and it's at his. I want to say this is another fucking apartment of his.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the first place was his office, or this place was his house. So.
Well, the first place was there, wasn't it? He was actually there with Pearl, I think.
Probably, like I don't even know what that was. Like he was just chilling.
Yeah, I think that was there, and then I don't know. I take it back. No, it could have been. No, you're right. It could have been somewhere in his other apartment. I don't know.
Yeah, because anyway, you see he's throwing a party, and that's when you get Officer Krieger fucking telling him out, like apologizing profusely because Officer Krieger is Deacon's familiar.
Yeah.
Which is a vampiric term for people who help the vampire get their shit done during the day.
Yes.
Krieger
fucking lucky they get to turn into a vampire.
Yep. And if you serve your master long enough, if they like you enough, they'll turn you into a vampire. He apologizes profusely about not only not like getting away from Blade, but also taking this motherfucker down to Pearl. Deacon really has enough of it, and he fucking kills him. And probably one of our first real life looks at him being fucking threatening.
Yeah.
Like that's like it's one of those things where I'm like, because at this point right now, I'm sitting there going like, is Deacon threatening? He's plotting, but is he threatening?
Right.
But then he fucking just is like, oh yeah, shit, he's a vampire. Like, oh yeah, fuck.
Right.
As he proceeds to fucking drain the life out of Officer Krieger and I guess one of the chicks he has there, which is, I believe that is Mercury.
Yeah, she actually trivia. They never say her name. Mm-hmm. That's who she's just credited as. So I guess it's Mercury. Huh?
That makes sense because, like, I had to look at it because I never knew she had a name.
Yeah, no, yeah. Apparently, that's just what she's billed as, but they never say her name in the whole day.
Like, I never knew she had a name. Like, even growing up, I was just like, it's Frost's girlfriend, and now I realized I was like, oh wait, fuck, this is different. But
yeah. But
no, it's like that's kind of funny that she didn't have she could have went out uncredited, but she actually got a name. But as Krieger is disposed and they're licking the blood off of each other's faces, you see Blade and Dr. Karen roll up on Pearl, fat ass, and Pearl is sitting there telling Frost, because Frost has a beat like Pearl. I'm gonna say is kind of like one of those, I ain't gonna say nerdy vampires, but he's one of like super fucking computerized, like into that shit type of shit, because you see all the computers and everything around him, and he only had like around his bed and shit. So he Pearl sees Blade and Dr. Karen. He's like, hey, and then he screams for Deacon. Deacon's like, you need me, Frost, you need me. Deacon's like, hey, man.
He's like, you're gonna die, bro. I'm sorry. Just
he's like, die with some dignity. Like, yeah. He's like, at least you're gonna die with some fucking dignity. And like he fucking Blade looks at him and says, hey man, I'm gonna fucking Blade's just like, yo, I'm gonna fry your ass up. Depending on how you answer these questions, you're gonna walk out this bitch with a tan. What's this? Points to the screens and obviously lies, and then Blade looks back at Dr. Karen, who has a fucking UV light, points that shit on him and fries this motherfucker up like an egg.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to tell secrets about like what's going on about Lamagra and the Blood God and everything else, what's going on, and about the 12. And then he's like Blade makes his way to another room with plastic explosives, and they just pretend to like they just proceed to fricassee that fat fuck. It was just ugh. This is one of those scenes, man, that was gross to me, man. I don't know why.
Yeah. It was kind of ew. It was like, what the hell?
Like they just cooked, I guess, because you just saw the flesh burning.
Yeah,
and it was like, just so fat.
Just the way it sounded too. It was everything.
Yeah.
With that effect.
Yeah, it was just like because he sounded like I was like ew, you know, like ew, yucky.
Yeah.
Just seeing all that shit and it was kind of crazy. I was like, man, that's gross. Let's see what else. So obviously they make their way into the fucking catacombs. They make their way in the fucking catacombs. That shows like pretty much the vampiric Bible.
Yeah.
Of everything in there is kind of figuring out what's going on and kind of like trying to decipher everything. Deacon, knowing that Blade is down there, Deacon sends Quinn and the boys to go capture Blade because they need him alive for the ritual apparently. And they get down there first. I mean, you see this little black girl just running around.
Mm-hmm.
In one shot, I actually thought was kind of cool growing up. But then she comes out and just fucking kicks the shit out of Blade through some shit. And then, we get fucking kind of sort of kung fu fighting.
Yeah.
Blade kind of
trivia. You know who that little girl's master was?
Who that?
Billy Blanks.
Oh shit. Tybo
in his ass.
She is that motherfucker with the goddamn fireworks.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh goddamn!
Like everybody fucking comes in, but as they're fighting, as the little girl is like fucking kung fu fighting Blade, and Blade's like, yo, I don't want to smack a bitch, but I will.
Yeah.
Bitch smack the shit out of her. Because I got that scene on right now. We obviously get like Blade doing more kung fu shit as they come out with the UV light destroyed because they made quick work of Pearl. They're trying to capture Blade. Blade is like pretty much being Wesley Snipes at this point, but he gets subdued.
Yeah. Quinn,
who I'm gonna say this now, I love Donald Logue.
Right.
I've always been a fan of Donald Logue. He was in
Gotham.
No, not Gotham. People like him in Gotham. He was in a fucking TV show that I actually liked watching, Grounded for Life.
Oh, okay.
That and Terriers. But Terriers was only like one season. Yeah. But Grounded for Life was a Fox comedy show. That shit was funny as hell. Which kind of blew my mind because I'm like, they got a fucking comedic actor to be in this?
Yeah.
Like, well, okay, I take that back. When this came out in '98, I didn't know who he was. And then I watched Grounded for Life. I'm like, yo, that's the dude who died in Blade.
Yeah.
Blade. And I was like, yo, this motherfucker's funny as hell. Just shit like that.
What else? And it was funny, he was not supposed to be this big a character. He was just supposed to be he was just supposed to be like a minor character, but everyone loved him on set so much, because he was funny as hell. So everyone was like, no, this role's bigger now. You got a bigger role, bro. Like, we got to get you on screen more.
Good for Donald Logue, man. Right? Like that, I fuck with Donald Logue heavy. Like every time I see him, he makes me smile. And even when I know he was playing off, when I saw him in Gotham, I'm not a fan of Gotham. Let's just say that right now. I'm not never been a fan of Gotham. But when I fucking started, obviously I watched the show because I'm a fucking Batman, Mark. But when I found out he was playing fucking Harvey Bullock, I was like, that is the perfect role for this motherfucker to play.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, like I believe every fucking minute of this. So they string up Blade. They try to get him interrogated, so he can't. So Quinn, who is Donald Logue, can't kill Blade. He can't kill him. Frost doesn't want him. Like Frost wants him alive. He takes Blade's fucking like silver daggers and fucking stabs him in the shoulder with it. Mm-hmm. Like, and then he tried to take another one, stabs him in the other shoulder. And, you know, here's one thing that bugged me, though, Jose. So in this scene, they're in the catacombs and Blade's tied down and held back. You see him kind of turn his head to the left and right because you're seeing he's like doing that. And you see he got nothing in his ears.
Yeah.
Only for fucking Quinn to go stab this motherfucker again, and Blade just starts laughing, and he says, "I'm expecting company," and he turns his ear, and there's a fucking big ass fucking like earpiece in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's no fucking way that earpiece was there.
No, absolutely not. No.
It was not there.
Those things you didn't notice, right? Don't notice. Nope. Don't stop. Don't pay attention. Don't.
Bro, it was like, cause it fucked with me because I had to go back and I had to look at it because I'm like, that shit wasn't in his ear.
Yeah, no.
And he's fucking, I'm like, yo, man, I was thinking to myself, like, maybe it's in the other ear. But I look at it, I was like, no, it's not. It's what the fuck? Yeah, shit like that.
Magic.
Like magic. But yeah, so like that leads Whistler coming in on the headset, blowing shit up, fighting back. Him, Karen, and Blade get away into the subway catacombs, being chased by the vampires, and obviously we get a little action scene here, where Blade's fighting off some of the vampires. Some of them get caught in the fucking subway, get hit by the subway train because they're trying to catch him. And but Quinn
gets his other arm cut off.
Quinn gets his arm cut off again, which, by the way, he originally got his arm cut off. Wait, did he get his arm cut off? He got his arm cut off in the hospital. Because I'm thinking, like, when the fuck did he get? That's kind of a running gag in this movie, by the way. Like, he gets something cut off, but it's always his fucking arm.
Yeah.
Blade takes his arm twice. One in the hospital when he was crispy and burnt alive. The other time when in the subway catacombs, it was one of the subway catacombs trying to fight everybody, and he takes his arm, and then obviously Blade reaches out, and something that I'm like, I know he's strong, but how does he still have his fucking arm? He waits for the subway to go past, and he grabs the fucking subway bar door, and he fucking gets flung around, hanging on the old girl, and all he leaves with is a fucking it's out of the socket.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, that should have fucking ripped your shit in half.
Vampire strength.
I know, man. I know. It still fucked with me.
Yeah.
It still fucked with me, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was weird to me.
Yeah, so yeah.
But
so after that, old boy gives everybody the backstory though. Whistler gives everyone the backstory.
Yeah, gives the backstory of what happened to Blade and how he found Blade.
Yeah.
And pretty much like if you read comic books, people, it's kind of what we told you earlier. Like Blade's mom was bitten by a vampire. He came out half a vampire and half human. Gained all their strengths, none of their weaknesses, but he gained their thirst. When he was younger, he couldn't control his thirst. Whistler found him, and he was going to kill him, but he realized that this motherfucker was out in the daylight, so something was up with him.
Yeah.
So he decided to fucking help him, and that's kind of the story of Blade. That's literally it. In this particular scene, he's telling her about like there is no cure, but once again, she's a fucking doctor, and not just any doctor apparently. She's like
a hematologist.
Yeah. A what now,
doctor.
Jose?
A hematologist. Okay. Damn it, Shaq. I said it right. Now I can't say it no more. A a blood doctor. Damn it, Shaq. I told you already.
A hobgoblin?
Yes, a hobgoblin.
She's not a hobgoblin, bro. Jesus. But and that comes back because she's like, yo.
Hematologist. That's what I said. Yes. The first
hematologist?
Time. Yeah.
Gesundheit. Well, obviously, and these kind of like you kind of in the part of the movie, you're getting like exposition. Hey, why do you hunt them? I got 2 daughters. Whistler tells his backstory, which to be honest with you, will never come back to pass. Even by the time it does come back to pass, no one cares about the third movie. Because Get a bunch of exposition. We're caught back looking at Deacon with some more exposition, and you see both Mercury and Quinn arguing, letting the Blade get away. Deacon comes in and is like, hey, man, it's all good. We'll get him. Cool head Deacon, even though we know this motherfucker has a mean streak, just being cool. He's like, look, bro, I just want him alive.
Yes,
Quinn wants him dead because
we've been trying to kill this motherfucker for years.
Like, why? You fucking, I was like, hey, are you out of it? He's like, hey, man, relax.
Yeah.
Relax.
You know, look at my arm. He's like, he got my.
Look at this shit, man. Look at my face. I can't pull no bitches like this. He's like, relax, man. It's okay. I got you.
Yeah.
And he's fucking, so this is when they're sitting there getting their plans off the foot. So you see Deacon and Mercury kissing, kind of making out, but kind of touching their face. What we see they're applying fucking sunscreen, which to this day, like, I don't know if this is the smartest fucking thing or the dumbest, depending on, this is how I know vampire lore is whatever.
Yeah.
Because what type of sunscreen do you need to make sure that shit don't burn you to fucking crisp?
I'm like, what strength level, what SPF protection do you need?
Bro, like, look here. They went out and fucking, now, granted, so the reason why they're putting on sunscreen is they actually grab Dragonetti, they kidnap him and bring him to a beach. They bring him off to a beach so they can see the sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
And when they see the sunrise and shit, they're telling Dragonetti, is like, hey man, have you ever appreciated a good song? Oh yeah, I forgot you haven't because you were born a vampire.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, like, at least we're all here together so we can share this moment. And he's got like sunscreen on, and they're wearing all black and black leather and shit, and he's holding them together, like, pretty much.
Bike helmets on too.
Yeah, they motorcycle helmets, so they're like, so they won't catch fire. Like, I thought this was the smartest shit, but it was also convoluted to me because I'm like, you put on sunscreen, I get it, but don't you burn with the clothes on? Like, I would have, yes. Like, if it touches your skin.
That's what I guess if it touches your skin, that's the rule. But even then.
So, but all of them should be smoking at that point.
Yeah, they should be smoking at least.
Now, Dragonetti obviously smoking more than them. But they don't have any gloves on. They just have they don't have any.
No, they got gloves. They are leather.
No. Because when they're pulling out fucking Dragonetti's teeth. Yeah. Not his teeth, his fucking fangs. And they don't put gloves on until later. You literally see Deacon fucking pull his teeth out, and he has his fucking bare hands. And I'm like, how are you not on fire, sir?
Yeah.
Like, what fucking SPF 1 million do you have on right now?
Maybe it's a special SPF that only vampires can buy. And it's like, warning, this will only last maybe 20 minutes. I don't know. I'm trying to save the movie.
I mean, it's something that I didn't realize in growing up. Like, I still love that movie. I still like, hey, this is like my first step into like dominance.
Yeah.
Cause like, all right, he's like, since I can't fucking get Blade, I'm gonna have to fucking do this shit and try to make my moves. I understood it. On the same token, I'm like, but why though?
Yeah.
Like, explain this to me. Like, explain. Like, I don't like I am in confusion with that shit. Like, that is how I felt. But they take Dragonetti fangs out and they leave him to die as they watch his old fucking body explode. And which one I thought was a dope fucking kill.
Yeah, because he lights on fire and he just like, he like melts too. And
dude, he melts. He starts to get on fire, then he fucking melts. Then he fucking explodes.
Yeah.
He sizzles, fires, melts, explosion. And I do like the reaction that they had when everybody blew the fuck up. He's like, ah. You're like, ah,
Oh,
fucking, like, oh shit, I didn't think that shit was gonna work like that.
Yeah. I thought it
So,
just burned. Fuck.
like, fuck, oh wow, I'm glad we wore this fucking SPF. I'm glad we wore this.
1,000.
No, fuck that. Like, what's that? Plot advancement. That's what we're
Right.
glad we wore that shit,
It wore the fucking sunblock from fucking that RoboCop commercial.
bro. Bro, I'm just sitting here going like, man, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But
Yeah.
anyway, enough of that. You see Blade, Whistler, and Dr. Karen. Dr. Karen's working on some shit in the lab. She fucking she's telling Blade like, hey, check this shit out. She pretty much makes this motherfucker. How can I say this? Sub-Zero's ice balls in a fucking a fucking injector. Like it's what it would do is it would freeze. If it was touching human blood, it would do anything. But vampiric blood, it's gonna freeze. Which this is gonna be used for later for character, like for pop character points anyway. Yeah. So Blade sees it. She's like, "Yo, some cure, right?" No, this is not made to be a cure. This is made to be a weapon. I'm gonna need a sample of your blood though, so I can actually work on this cure. And he's like, I'm gonna get some serum. And Whistler's like, that shit can wait.
Yeah.
That shit can wait. Let her get your blood. And she gets the blood. They do that. She looks at everything and she's like, her and Whistler kind of have a talk because she's slowly starting to feel like she's turning, but at this point she don't have a lot of time. So she's like, look, tells Whistler like, look, this should have worked for me, but for Blade, I do not know how it'll work.
Yeah, because he was born a vampire. I was just
turned. If you were just turned a vampire, then if you were just turned a vampire, then the cure that she's made can cure you. However, if you were born a vampire, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work like that
because it's in your DNA. It's like
yeah,
it's
in your DNA. Your DNA wasn't changed. So Blade is off getting some more serum. While he's off getting serum, though, we get our first encounter with Blade and Deacon Frost.
Yes,
which to me was a dope encounter until I again watched this movie and had some more questions.
Yeah. Because even Blade's looking at him for like a whole minute and he's like, sunblock.
Yeah. She's like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
You should be smoking like a brisket right now. Why are you still so what Frost does is Frost kidnaps a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason why I know this is New York, because for what I remember, Louisiana or New Orleans does not have a Chinatown.
Okay.
Does not have a Chinatown.
Yeah.
But she kidnaps. And if I got people in New Orleans listening, and there is a Chinatown, please correct me. But from all intents and purposes, this shit is in New York.
Yeah.
It could be filmed in New Orleans or some parts of New Orleans, but this shit is in New York. There's no fucking way. Also, New Orleans does not have fucking subway system.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
Bingo. Okay, anyway, so Blade and Frost meeting up for the first time. Frost pretty much sitting there waxing poetic as he's having the little girl in his clutches because he's like, look, don't make a fucking move or she's gonna have a horrible accident. He's telling them, it's like, hey man, these people are a food. They don't care about you. You think they're gonna accept you? He fucking calls Blade an Uncle Tom.
Pretty much, yeah.
He ain't no pretty much. He fucking calls him an Uncle Tom. He's like, yeah. He's like, as Frost is admiring Blade for who he is, like you get all of our strengths, none of our weaknesses. Perfect assessment. And Blade's like, yeah, I don't see it that way. He's like, come on, man, cut it out with his Uncle Tom shit.
That's
and I'm like, yo. He's like, you think these humans care about you?
Yeah.
Like they don't. They don't care about
So
you.
here's
Man.
a funny backstory. This was the first scene they filmed for the movie.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
So at that time, Stephen Dorff was like, I don't get my character yet. So it was kind of like I want to say it was a bad first day, but it was one of those like Stephen Dorff's like, I don't get what my character is yet, because this happens later in the movie, damn near towards the end. And like, what is my character? And Wesley Snipes had to help him out. They took a lot of takes. And what Wesley Snipes
I can fucking tell.
What Wesley Snipes did was consistently remind them, hey, we're gonna do another take. You know why? Because I'm the producer, and I say we do another take to on purposely piss Stephen Dorff off to where he's like, okay, I hate this motherfucker. I hate him. I don't like him. I don't like him. And that's how that scene got. That's how they did the tension. That's how they made tension between themselves.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, because you can see it on his face, man.
Yeah.
You can see it. You can actually see it on his face.
Yeah.
On how upset he is when they're fucking. He's like, "I'm offering you a truce." Like it was crazy that you say that. That's fucking crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. I didn't think we would get any of these Wesley Snipes type shits until like later, but that's actually kind of cool. Because you can see the facial expression, and he's like he's tired of his shit, right?
Yeah.
So you see that, and you see that they're having that discussion, and even though, and what Deacon's trying to do is like, look, Blade, come work with me, and all this shit. You can join us, be with us, and he's like, yeah, I'm not. Blade's like, yeah, I'm not a fucking idiot. I know what you're trying to do. You're bringing up the blood god. You need 12 dudes. I'm not doing that. He's like, I try to give you an easy way out, and you spit it right in my fucking face.
Yeah.
His delivery during that whole point, even with that knowledge that you just gave me, makes it a lot. I can appreciate it more because it's like, homie was pissed.
Yeah.
Pissed. He's like, all right. And then you get Blade not just saying fuck it, pulling his gun out on Deacon. Now, here's something that always fucked with me. I don't know if we were showing how fast Deacon was moving, but when he shot those bullets, fucking Deacon dodges one with the girl in his hand, in his opposite hand, dodges the other one, 2 bullets showing up, but then you see him come back and he throws the fucking girl in the traffic. It's like, how? Like, did he fucking, it wasn't explained if that was his vampire speed.
Yeah, I think that's what we're supposed to assume.
Yeah. Now I think about it, because I was
bullets. And this was
at first I was like, dude, because at first when I saw this, I was like, no, fuck you, man. No way. How does he fucking move and then only go back and throw the bitch? Like, you're not gonna fucking move and then move through her. You have to move and then come back and throw her. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. If you're trying to it's just the way that he moves. I don't like how that camera cut.
Okay.
I don't like how that camera cut. But it was all the distraction. He starts shooting at him, but he's trying to save the girl. He runs away. Deacon runs away. Blade saves the little girl, tells her to go home. Deacon and his crew make it to Blade's warehouse.
Yeah.
They kidnap Dr. Karen, and they obviously put an end to Blade. They put not an end to Blade. They put an end to what it looked like. They put an end to Whistler. Yeah, Whistler got bit, and Whistler was like, "Fuck it." Yep, Whistler was like, "Fuck it." They fucked him up, stomped him up, and they turned him. So what they did was, when they did that, Whistler fucking say, "Blade, you gotta end me, man. I'm not trying to turn into no vampire." And Blade's like, "No." And Whistler's like, "Then give me the goddamn gun." Takes the gun and says, "Do it." Now walk away. Fucking walks away. Puts a bullet in. So got ruined in part 2 because it doesn't really
Yeah, you hear I guess you weren't in time.
Yeah, you get the bullet, but even then, he shoots himself with Blade's gun that has
silver. You're right.
Silver bullets. So it's like, did you shoot yourself for real?
He missed? Maybe.
Did you shoot yourself for real, or did you need him to fucking think you were dead, or what? Because old girl has a cure. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, did they? Because I don't understand, because they found him in Blade 2 where he's like sitting there hung up. But anyway, I'm not getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, maybe the bullet went through his head, so therefore there was no silver in it.
No.
Still was able to turn.
Bro, no.
Once again, I'm trying to help the movie. Trying to help you, movie.
Bro, it's like
Well,
it's
technically,
weird.
we shouldn't worry about it, because that's a part 2 plot hole.
Yeah, that's a part 2. Yeah, it's
like
it's only because our knowledge of part 2 kind of fucks this up, because this would have been more. Growing up seeing this movie, this was more sentimental until part 2 came out. I was like, how the fuck is he alive?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think they explained it. Now I got to go back and watch part 2. Because
only thing I remember part 2, they said they were literally just keeping him alive.
They kept him alive, but I'm like, where did he fucking shoot himself? Because the gun would have had fucking garlic shit to kill vampires. If he was a fucking vampire, if he felt himself turning, where did he fucking shoot himself?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that fucked with me. Just some shit. I'm on to you, movie. I'm on to you. But so Blade obviously sees Deacon Frost leaves Blade a message. He heads out. He's going to Deacon's hideout. We all know it's a trap.
Mm-hmm.
He gets there. He does load up with what Dr. Karen gave him, which is like those, I'm gonna call those Sub-Zero, like Sub-Zero weapons. Loads up with that and takes it and just goes, heads out to where everything is. Obviously, we get a battle scene of Blade just trying to fight everybody off, and then obviously, beforehand, you get Karen is sitting with Frost, and she's like, "What?" He's like, "So," and he didn't kill her because he likes her.
Yeah.
He didn't kill her because he likes her, but he also needs her as bait.
Mm-hmm.
He gets Blade. He tells Blade, like, he looks at her. He's like, "What? You gonna turn me? I'll just cure myself." He's like, "There's no fucking cure." "Oh, there is if you turn."
Yeah.
So like you and she and that whole barb between her and Frost was so good, kind of like showing how much Frost, like, creating in my head, it's like Frost knew he was a nobody until he became a vampire.
Yeah.
And now he's like, why are we hiding in the shadows? We should be ruling over them. Fuck it, I'm gonna go get more power. And you hear that, and okay, cool. You hear that, he's like, I'm gonna make myself stronger, and she reads him out. He's like, look, you're like a sexually transmitted disease.
Mm-hmm.
You're not fucking real. And he fucking snaps on her.
Yeah.
He's like, look, we're on the top of the fucking food chain. He's like, as soon as the blood god's coming, he's gonna fuck your shit up. He's just fucking turn everybody you ever, like, everybody you've known, everybody you ever fucking loved. That whole delivery.
Yeah.
Because you haven't seen him be as angry in this whole thing up until that point.
Right.
So it was kind of like a good little, like, you honestly didn't start seeing him being angrier until this movie kept going. Like, towards the back half of this movie. Like, that whole fucking scene was dope to me. So obviously, back to Blade just being, Wesley Snipes being Blade, just beating the shit out of everybody. He takes 2 of the vials and just kind of uses them on the vampires, and like, they blow up into some lovely CGI raspberry sorbet.
Yeah, it's just like, they pretty much think of what happens to old boy at the end of Big Trouble in Little China. That they just expand.
Yeah, but only not done by fucking practical effects. It was definitely CGI.
Oh yeah, that was CG. Yeah,
definitely CGI. You get that, and obviously we get there. It's a fucking trap. Blade sees his mom.
He was like, "What the hell?
What the fuck?" And he gets captured.
Yeah.
They take him. They take Blade. Karen is just like, it's everybody in the crew. He also has collected the other members of the board, so he can have his 12 for the summoning of Lamagra.
Yeah.
He gets everybody situated. He gets Blade and pretty much wax poetic to Blade again. He takes Blade and he shows him defeated. He has Blade's sword. Quinn has Blade's sunglasses, and they also have Blade's shotgun.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens, and Frost plays the thing that says, "Hey, this is your serum. It's but it's not a serum. It's his fucking like Sub-Zero vial." But when you're speaking of serum, Blade hasn't had some serum or he hasn't had any blood, and he's starting to fiend for it. You kind of see it all in his face. And what they're doing is they take him, they tie him down because for the ritual needs, they need Blade's blood.
Mm-hmm.
So they tie Blade up. They put Blade up in the statue above that, so the blood can be drained into the 12 symbols, into the 12 symbols, and Frost takes Dr. Karen down there and throws her into a pit where they're telling her, "Yeah, we got a special surprise for you." It's her fucking ex Curtis, who was still alive because he didn't turn all the way. He turned into a fucking ghoul.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ghoul.
But they explain, they're like, yeah, sometimes you don't turn. Sometimes, every once in a while, they turn into this, and they'll eat anything. They just
they eat humans, vampires, no matter.
Yeah.
They do all that. So it's like he fucking throws her down there, and that's where he fucking says the line. He's like, "You think we still had a chance?" And he fucking, Karen, low-key being a badass in this whole movie, like silent badass in this whole entire movie. Like she took care of herself.
Yeah.
She knocks his ass out. She climbs up. She goes to do the damn thing, and she tries to go off and find Blade. Blade getting his blood drawn. And his mom is kind of like strapping him in, and he's like, "Bruh, no, all that." Deacon lines everybody up. The blood starts coming through. The blood starts coming through and shit, and then
thunder starts like a storm.
Yeah, the storm comes, and like Deacon's standing in the top. Now here's one thing: one of the dudes was giving Deacon Mercury some shit, saying, "You really think Deacon's gonna fucking want you around? He's just using you, getting on her goat." And I'm sitting here going like, okay, yeah, and then she fucking kills him. I'm like, okay, who the fuck? You just killed one of the dudes.
No, he was a leftover.
He was a leftover, you sure?
Yeah, he was. I don't think he was there was 12 people, he was like 13.
Okay. I was about to say, man, because like that shit, because I could have swore he was standing on the podium. On one of the podiums. All right.
They had everyone else, and then he was just kind of there.
Okay. I was about to say, like, that's the dumbest fucking shit ever.
Yeah.
But anywho, the fucking thunderstorms, all the CGI shit happens, and the fucking blood falls onto everybody, and then falls on fucking Deacon, and we get probably
lightning strikes, and then like I guess their souls come out.
Yeah. So what happens is the blood comes out. Old girl frees Blade.
Yeah.
Dr. Karen frees Blade. When that thunder comes down, it's supposed to kill Blade in that whole thing, but it doesn't because Blade's free. Thunder comes down, and they're fucking vampiric souls, which is like.
CGI ghouls and ghost things.
Like 90 CGI fucking come around, and they're just like it's just like skeleton with fucking wings and shit flying out of their mouths.
Yeah.
Killing them.
Mm-hmm.
Going through Deacon as his eyes start to become CGI red.
Yeah.
And that's when he turns into like Lamagra.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sitting there like, and they're like, Frost? This is not anymore. Like, not anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is where it kind of gets like goofy to me. But like, I wish, apparently apparently they had a bear. I was like, one of the trivias, I know there was a blood fucking tornado.
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yes.
Have you ever seen that in? That's
Yes.
way worse.
That was way worse.
That was
Like
the original ending. That
that was
got
the original-
like bad test.
yeah,
screen.
that didn't. Yeah, they say fuck it. We'll have him be like a normal person,
Yeah.
which was
With just
which was
powers.
kind of like which was kind of weird, man. I'm just like, I mean, still wasn't bad. This is one of those things in this movie that while saying the ending wasn't as strong as the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Blade is weak. Blade fucking Karen's like, look, the only way we're gonna be able to get out of this, you gotta drink my blood. Blade's like, no. Karen's like, yes. Blade's like, fine, bite. Blade fucking becomes Super Saiyan Blade.
Yeah, pretty much.
He fucking plops down.
Well, kills his mom.
Thank you. He kills his mom first, which, by the way, Deacon was the one who bit her, which made Blade turn into who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Or Eric.
Yeah.
Actually, Blade's full name
is Eric something. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, give me a second. It is.
My name is Cleveland Brown. Yeah, sorry. I just had to
Please, God, why? Why are you doing that? Eric Brooks.
There you go.
She calls him Eric. She doesn't call him Blade the entire time. She just calls him Eric. She gets murked because he's like, I release you, freeze her, and then he begins to do his blood loss, calling out for Frost, beating everyone's ass. And shouts out to my man.
Boy's head off.
Yeah, shouts out to my man Quinn. Quinn is like, look, bro, I got 2 new hands, and I don't know which one I want to fuck you up with. Bum rushes Blade. Blade fucking had a goddamn silver fucking piano wire coming out of the shit, chops his fucking head off, and there goes Quinn down for the count.
Glasses out of midair.
Grabs his glasses, and then the 90s music hits.
The 90s techno. Let's go.
And then Blade pretends to beat the shit out of everyone.
There's that one poor bastard gets the shit kicked out from the ground. That's
not just kick, bro. He stomps his motherfucker and kicks his motherfucker up.
Yeah.
While yelling out Frost the entire time.
Gets kicked so hard he's now standing up.
If you were dressed in black or a vampire or any combination of the two, Blade was kicking the shit out of you.
Yes.
Blade was breaking bones, and stabbing motherfuckers. And this is one of those things that I was wondering to myself, like, they must have ran out of budget, because when he's killing them, they either were normal people, because they didn't really tell you if they were normal people or if they were fucking like vampires.
Are they
because
are they vampires? What are they?
Yeah, because you just saw, you didn't see any people vampire dust. You just see them getting fucked up, which is fine. Blade proceeds to beat everybody up. You see Karen go up against Mercury. Karen has a fucking shotgun, Blade shotgun, and I don't know who the fuck she was shooting at. She's shooting at something. It wasn't Mercury.
Yeah.
Because there's no fucking way you shooting and you're hitting everything else but her. Straight out of the fucking Star Wars Stormtrooper Academy.
Yep.
For aim, and then you fuck around and just blah blah, and I'm just like, man, what the fuck, But anyway, Karen fucking kills Mercury after getting punched in the stomach. She kills Mercury by shooting fucking garlic in her mouth and her head. Now, to be granted, how Mercury died was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was
what caused it?
Garlic and silver nitrate.
Yeah, it was garlic and silver nitrate. So what caused it? Not the greatest.
Right.
How she fucking died though.
That was pretty cool.
That shit was dope. That was some good CGI. I was as much as I give the CGI in this movie some bullshit. That was some good CGI. I appreciate that. It was a nice little head explosion. Then we get obviously we get Blade versus Frost, the final showdown.
And he gets a sword from out of nowhere too. So.
Yep. He's like, hey, let's fucking kung fu fight.
Yeah.
With swords. And apparently I remember and I'm not gonna take your sign. There's some fucking trivia here.
What's the trivia?
Well, you don't fucking have any?
No, it's just
so apparently they're fucking waving those swords. They're just they're not actually sword fighting. They're just waving the swords like in the air like that.
Oh, really? Are they just adding the sound effects?
Yeah, they just film it in
okay.
post.
No, I say no. I don't. I know one trivia is like when he's running up the stairs with the sword, at his proper form, the blade is away from his body. So there you go.
Of course,
knows what he's doing.
Of course. Come on, man. Wesley ain't gonna fuck that up.
Yeah.
Wesley is a fucking weeb first and foremost. So anything having to do with anything, he is not going to fuck that up. But anyway, they get into that fight. I mean, we get our fucking climax fight. Like you see, like he shows his Lamagra powers, the Blood God powers, and like he gets cut.
He slices them in half. So you think?
Yeah, and he thinks he won. Comes back down and gives me one of my other favorite scenes, going like the Blade fucking turns around, goes like, "What the?" Mumbles, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like just kind of like, hey, "What the fuck?" And he's just like, "Yo," staring at him, and I'm like, "Yo, that's what?" Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and then Blade goes to chop him up, and he dodges every sword like on some Dragon Ball Z shit, just dodges everything.
I always thought that part was cool.
And then he proceeds to say, "My turn," and then
fucking moves 3 spots and then punches this motherfucker. One punch that dude in the chest, hits that nigga against the wall.
So Shaq, do you know what that is an homage to?
No.
That is an homage to the Lost Boys. When David and Michael fight at the end. You remember Michael?
Yes!
And then he's like, "My turn." Yeah.
Yo, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. I never fucking noticed it because I was always depressed when this fucking scene came up because it sucked.
So there you go.
Ah, that makes me smile.
So Shaq, it's now time to put you on the spot right now.
All right, let's go.
One has to go. One has to vanish forever.
Okay.
Is it David from the Lost Boys or is it Deacon Frost?
Ooh. You bitch. I'm gonna say the crazy shit is I'm gonna say Deacon.
Okay.
Because as much as I fucking love Deacon Frost, bro.
Yeah.
He didn't do it like him and he didn't do enough, man. Like to me, he could. Okay, so actually I'm gonna take that back.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm picking Deacon over fucking over fucking David is because the fight scene, both of them died like bitches.
Okay, yeah.
Both of them died. But one didn't actually die and the other one did. So anyway, fucking Deacon sits there, fucking spews more rhetoric. Blade looks where his sword is, but sees where the fucking
you see the serum or that the Sub-Zero bombs, whatever.
The Sub-Zero bombs, man. He fucking throws his sword up where the bomb's at. Fucking does the sword, his shit drops. He fucking catches the shit behind him. He's like, and he obviously like look at this like, "You're sure? That ain't gonna fucking help you.
Yeah.
Take that shit all you want." And he fucking like, "All right, cool." He fucking catches the shit and fucking throws that shit, and fucking Deacon jumps up like a fucking tiger.
Yeah.
But you might as well just put the tiger fucking roar, rah, 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 fucking like up in the air, and then like Blade throws all the fucking syringes into him, and he's like, Deacon lands, wipes some shits off of him, and then Blade, which you already heard in the opener, gives us our fucking line of the goddamn ever. It is in my fucking Twitter it is in my Twitter bio. It is every place I can fucking use it.
Yep.
Still to this day, 23 fucking years, I still fucking say it.
Yep.
Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
And then just
whips that shit, kicks that shit to his head. Fucking Deacon fucking starts convulsing, freezing, and fucking just blows up some CGI shit.
And it's funny because Wesley Snipes thought this is the stupidest thing in the world.
That line?
Yeah. He thought it was really stupid to say, even though he's the reason it's in the movie. Because the reason that's in the movie is because either the director, I think the director or producer, or David S. Gore, one of the two, they were having a meeting, and Blade was describing what type of person Deacon Frost was. He's like, he's one of those motherfuckers that are always trying to ice skate uphill. And the dude's like, "Yo, that is amazing. You got to say that." And Wesley Snipes like, "Wait, no. It's kind of dumb." Like, "Nah, man, you're saying it." And so Wesley Snipes ended up saying it though, and lo and behold, everyone loves that line.
Everyone loves
There
that
you go.
line. He fucking hates it. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he didn't. He thought, like, okay, I just said it just to say it. I didn't think it was that good, but no, apparently not. Okay.
Hey, people love that. If I ever met Wesley, I was like, bro, how did you did you really hate that line? Yeah, was like, hey, brother, I fucking love it. So
Yeah.
but but like in that, I mean, at that point, Deacon's dead. Karen and him make their escape. Karen's like, hey, I still got that serum. I got that cure if you want. And he's like, you hold on to that. I got some shit I got to do. Next thing you know, he's in fucking Russia with another fucking pimp ass line
Yeah.
as he stops a fucking Russian vampire from fucking draining a poor defenseless woman.
Yeah.
And that is the movie.
Yep. That is
Blade.
He pulls out the sword and roll credits.
Yep.
Did you see the other original ending to it?
I remember it because there was another fucking like ending to this. I just can't remember exactly what it was. What was it?
Well,
Remind the people.
They get out to like it's the same thing. It's like you want to help me make me a better serum. And at that point, Blade turns and looks to his left, and there is a vampire out in the day.
Yeah, it was supposed to be more. It was supposed to be Morbius,
and then that was supposed to be Morbius, and they're like that was a setup for the sequel, but they couldn't do it because they realized like we don't have the rights to Morbius.
Yeah, we don't have the more. Yeah.
And they're like, well,
yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, how would they even fucking would have did that? Because how would you would have hide Morbius the entire time?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like he's sitting there. I do remember that because that's like on the deleted scenes.
Yeah.
Of the fucking movie, you could just sit there and it's like a motherfucker just sitting there in the background, like.
Looking Brady's like, oh shit, pulls out the sword. He's like, you better go.
Yeah, it's like you leave. And like more. I'm like, but I was like, but what the fuck is Morbius doing? Yeah,
Don't worry. Yeah. We'll finally get that Jared Leto movie eventually.
God no.
I forgot about that movie till someone brought it up.
I didn't.
You did. I completely forgot that was a thing. And someone's like, hey, maybe Morbius will come out this year. I'm like, wait, what? Like, that's right.
I mean, okay. All right. But yes, guys, that is Blade. And also our coverage with Deacon Frost. Again, this was a fun movie. This is also a movie that was 2 hours. We did not know it was 2 hours. I definitely didn't feel like 2 hours.
No, this movie goes. It goes by quick.
The pacing of this movie is still good for it to be 2 hours.
Yes,
so we got our
paced 2 hours.
Yes, Blade, 1998, written by David S. Goyer, but directed by Stephen Norrington.
You know what else he directed?
Stephen Norrington?
Yeah.
Nah, what did he direct?
One of my favorite guilty pleasures. That everyone looks at me, they're like, Jose, what the fuck is wrong with you?
The Pest?
No, and shout out to Jay, because Jay is one of his guilty pleasures as well. Fucking The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
What year that movie came out?
He didn't make a movie, and you wonder why, right?
That movie came out in 2003, right?
Yeah.
It might meet our criteria.
Ooh, let's go. I'm ready. Jay's like,
no, I actually like that movie too, but it's not good. It's
no, it is good. Not. That movie is
not good.
But I love it. I don't know why. I just want.
Yeah, no, it's some characters in that movie I fucking like, but it is not good. Oh my god. But all right, man, it's time to give our villain grade. To see what we got. Obviously, us as Similar Villains, we do give our villains obviously our grades. We're not just a movie review podcast. We are a villains podcast review. So we actually have 3 criteria that we grade our villains on. Those criteria are: what are their motives?
Mm-hmm.
What is the threat level? Mm-hmm. And obviously the drip, which means how that character is, like how that character is portrayed. So, Jose, go ahead. Give me what you have for you. Go ahead, give me your grades, and I'll follow with mine.
Okay, so definitely, threat level, it's there. Even though he's calm and collect, and you don't think he's gonna do nothing. If he snaps, that's it. It's over. You are dead.
You know what? I gave his threat level a B.
Yeah.
Like when I was looking at his grades, because like I had to think about like he really didn't do shit
Yeah, I would say a
until
B
like
too. That sounds good.
halfway
Yeah, no, that's actually great.
halfway through the movie. Like he didn't fucking do anything till halfway through the movie and shit. But like it's like, do I take him as great? Yeah, fuck yeah. Like the Vampire Council didn't take him threatening because he was like, yo, I'm not gonna do anything
Yeah.
until it was like, all right, it's time to act.
Until it
And
was
they
time, yeah.
Until it was time. So like not he like the only reason why I gave it a B is because of how it ended.
Yeah.
Because he didn't like really get like a showing, but like him as a character was really still good when it came to that.
Yeah, I give it a B as well.
Yeah, obviously the motive.
The motive, he wanted to become a god, which is, it's weird because it's a good motive, but at the same time, I feel like it's played out in movies. Like when
I gave it, so during this time, you want me to just give you what I gave it?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So I gave him an A-.
A-?
He wanted to not just be a god, he wanted to be back on top of the food chain. Like he wanted to have humans be under him. We've seen villains do that before, and like he came close. He actually fucking really achieved his goal if you think about it.
Yeah, he did become a god.
Yeah, he became a god. He just didn't.
He lost to science.
Yeah, he lost the fucking science.
Sorry.
Take that, atheist.
Yeah.
Like, wait, no.
Well, the other way around. Yeah, atheist.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, science, bitch.
Science fucking got him out of here. But yeah, I gave him an A- only because like it was a really good motive. He was one of the only villains that we saw that actually fucking got his goal.
Yeah.
Part of his goal.
For that, A- sounds good too.
He became the Go ahead.
So another original ending to this movie was he was gonna win. Like he became the blood god and he unleashed the blood wave and everyone turned into a vampire. And that's how the movie was gonna end. And then it was set up the sequel to where Bill Blade's just traveling town to town, taking out vampires in the post-apocalyptic world. They were like, we don't know if we're getting the sequel. Okay, fuck it. just kill him.
Just kill him and let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, it's crazy to me because it's like I said, he completed his goal. Like let's not kid ourselves. He actually killed Blade did not stop that. He got Blade's blood. He became a god and just got science kicked his ass. So I gave him the motive for that because he was one of the first villains on this show that actually completed it.
Yeah.
All right, and obviously the Drip.
Drip's an A.
Yeah, he's an A.
This
like
motherfucker was fashionable as shit.
Yep, it was 90s fashion. 90s as fuck.
Motherfucker had women around him at 24/7. Damn near, it looked like.
Yeah, it was.
He had his cool rave clubs, so yeah.
Yeah, all his clubs, this motherfucker was swaggy as fuck the entire time. So we definitely have that. Obviously, does Deacon belong in the hall?
Okay, so let's see. He gets into the Villain Dome, obviously.
He gets in. He gets
the benefits. He gets the membership. Does he belong at the table? I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Just because of that, like really realistically, you're looking at it to where, okay, he definitely get it through there. So I gave the villain grade. The villain grade, we're gonna give him, I guess, if we had to do it by numbers, because I'm fucking this up because I did it by
alphabet. Yeah, that's weird.
Did it by alphabet instead of like numbers. So it's kind of like it's all there. So if I had to give Deacon Frost anything based on what I'm giving him an A-.
Yeah, I give him an A- as well.
So and an A- would be probably what, a 4.5?
An A-? No, A- is a 4.
4?
Well, ain't it? Don't you think?
So an A
would be a 4. A plus, a regular A would be 4.5. Wouldn't A plus be 5?
This is how we're making shit complicated, folks.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like,
fuck it. I'm getting rid of the grades. I'm gonna just give him a fucking 4.5.
No, there you go. I'm gonna give him a 4.
I'm gonna give him a 4.
I'm with a 4 as well.
I'm gonna give him a 4 only because the ending still kind of fucking makes me mad.
Yeah.
but he did. Stephen Dorff did this damn thing, and and to this day I will still say that this movie was better than all my other. This is my Blade movie I would watch.
Yeah.
Versus like part 2, even though I know part 2 is superior.
Yeah.
But we're gonna end it with
like fucking also we're gonna introduce our new segment real quick, even though we should probably do it before we grade. Well, if I could try by error, what would you say is your favorite villainous moment?
My favorite villainous moment would probably be, honest to God, man, it would probably be the scene where he's talking to Karen in the where he's talking that, because at that point, like you get there where he snaps, but he's like, you get what he's about, because at that point he snaps.
Yeah.
Like it's like I like my villains to be kind of like fucking wordy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's dope to me. So like that's kind of my favorite villainous moment.
Yeah. I like that. I'm torn between two scenes.
What's yours?
I'm trying to think. Fuck it. I'm gonna say when he kills Dragonetti. Because it was that or him talking to Blade in the street. And then eventually dodging the bullets and throwing the chick.
Yeah.
But only because, Dragonetti was giving him so much shit throughout the whole movie. It's like, you're not a pure blood. Blah, blah, blah. And for him to kind of turn it around like, man, sunrises are so beautiful. Like, man, it's nothing like a good sunrise. It's like, oh, you wouldn't know about that, right? Because you're a pure blood.
Because you're a pure, yeah, he spread it back at him. That's really, that's some good shit. That's some good shit. Ripped out his fucking teeth with some pliers in his bare hands, with the sun is creeping out, and his hands should have fucking burned, or whatever. But yeah, we got the villainous moments. Those are mine, and those are Jose's. We gave Mr. Deacon Frost a 4.5 overall aggregate, and he gets a seat at the VIP table.
Yeah. That,
ladies and gentlemen, concludes another fucking lovely episode of Cinema Villains on location.
No, not on location. Is it?
Is it location?
Time to go mobile. That's what we said. But
that's the time to go mobile. Yeah, we.
You know what I'm thinking about it? That was because in Blade 2 they straight up addressed that plot hole. What you're talking about? If you remember, Ron Perlman is like holding his hand under a sunbeam. He has a glove on, if I think, and it eventually just starts smoking, and he's like, "Grr!" Like he's like, damn
bro,
it.
Yes.
Yeah, so
like what he's saying, like I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, come on, man. Like it's
trying to see how long he'd last in the sun, even.
Yeah, man. Like
jacket on.
With a like I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's some shit in this movie that the second movie kind of convolutes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what fucked me up, but other than that, it's fine.
We'll do Blade 2 eventually. Don't worry, guys.
Definitely yeah, we will. Yes,
Blade
3. we might need to.
Yeah, who knows?
We might need to, because like I said, we ain't going.
So we can elect Triple H.
There you go. Like we ain't. You can't always be fucking
he's
good.
Not the main. It's our show. Yeah.
This is one of those things that we always can't, we always can't do good movies, guys.
Exactly.
We got some slums.
Exactly.
Eventually.
Shout out to Die Hard 2 coming soon.
Oh fuck. Anyway, guys, thank you again.
Yeah.
It's glad to be back in 2021 doing this. We definitely appreciate you staying with us and staying with us and fucking with us like you have been. And we definitely appreciate it. We still got some stuff in planned. Hopefully, eventually, we will be back in studio doing our recordings and doing stuff back to normal.
That's right.
Until then, we shall see you guys down the road.